Well, the Faith and Freedom Coalition's Road to Majority Conference is underway in Washington, D.C., and this year marks the first time all the GOP frontrunners are appearing together at the event, which focuses on religious voters as they look to win over an important voting bloc for the Republican Party. So CBS News political reporter Aaron Navarro is joining us now from the conference. Hey, Aaron, we often talk about this in terms of evangelicals, but it's not just evangelicals. All kinds of religious voters are here. Who's speaking at the event, and why is it significant?
Anne-Marie, Vlad, good to be with you. I mean, as you mentioned, it's the front runners in this 2024 race. Though they are different days, Ron DeSantis, former President Trump are headlining this event, as well as Senator Tim Scott. Nikki Haley is scheduled to be here, Vivek Ramaswamy. Nearly all of the 12 or 13 2024 candidates are going to be speaking here to this, as you mentioned, not just evangelical, but heavy religious group. And it's notable because it's one of the first cattle calls where all of these candidates will be here, and it's an event where they can really kind of tap into and make the pitch to these religious voters as this event bills itself as the nation's premier pro-faith, pro-family event.
So yesterday on American Decides, Bob Costa spoke with Ralph Reed. As you know, Aaron, he's the chair of the Faith and Freedom Coalition, about the key issues GOP candidates are focusing on. Here's a clip.
I think they mistakenly thought if we could just talk about inflation and gas prices and pretend that that didn't happen. I mean, abortion in a lot of these battleground states was right at the number 1 or 2 issue and why voters were voting the way they were. You cannot stick your head in the sand and ignore this. You've got to not only explain your own position and do it confidently and assertively.
So where do the candidates stand on it?
Vlad, it's interesting because Mr. Reed's kind of assessment of the midterms is what I've heard from a lot of Republican strategists. Yet when you look at the 2024 field, a lot of them haven't made their stance clear. All of these candidates will say that they are, quote, pro-life. But when it comes to the issue of a national abortion ban, there is some splits. Former Vice President Mike Pence is probably the most outspoken about this. He's speaking here, actually, first, and then is speaking at a Students for Life rally in D.C. later. But he is for a national abortion ban, while a lot of the other candidates, while they may have instituted abortion bans in their own states, like Governor Ron DeSantis, they haven't really showed support for federal limits on abortion.
One of the other things that Ralph Reed had said was he talked about the importance of getting the support of this particular voting bloc early on in the primary process, how that could shift things. So how prominent are evangelical voters in the GOP, and does a candidate need to appeal to them?
Well, evangelical voters are big in states like Iowa and South Carolina, which if you're a candidate in 2024, those 2 states are in the 4-state window that begins this whole process and can really help you gain momentum if you have a good showing there. So it's important for candidates to appeal to that base. But also, from talking to evangelical leaders, religious leaders at the beginning of this year, after the midterms, they have all told CBS News that this race is open. This evangelical base has supported former President Trump in the past, but since the midterms, since 2020, they are very open to hearing from some of these other candidates. Hence, these candidates are making the appeal and making the trip to talk to them.
All right, Aaron Navarro for us. Aaron, thank you.